So, from yesterday, so we didn't see the loops. I'm sorry. Yeah. So there's also like a very important concept called loops in programming. Okay, I don't know. The definition of the loops is a sequence of instructions that is continually repeated until a certain condition is reached. So how we are going to use that, or why we need loops? Just think about matrices or lists. So if you have elements and a variable which has, let's say, thousands of elements inside, which is like a matrix, or 1,000 by 1,000 matrix, to scan all of the elements inside, you need loops. So I will show some of the examples how some loops are worked. So there are two loops. They are very interesting and always used in programming languages, I think. So in Java there is, MATLAB there is, and there should be even in the C. So for and while loops. So if you look to the difference between the for and while loop, for the for loop, it has a variable and it will ask the variable inside a variable again, actually. So range is a function that gives the input. The input is the parameter. Let's say this is 10. And if you use the function of the range, it will give from 0 to 10. 0, 1, 2, 3 to 10. It's again, like it becomes a list from 0 to 10. And each E will become an element of this structure. So if we try this code, so have you opened your Visual Studio Codes, by the way? So let's start with the coding again to see the loops, how they worked. I'll just put it like that. So I'll just take a sec. So what we were trying to see the for E in range 10 and print I. See, for I in range 10 with colon, and you see it has a tab. It started with a tab. By the way, I changed the color to the white instead of black. Is it better with the white? Yeah. Or we can just, okay. So let's print the I and let's see what it gives to us. Okay. Now I will be selecting this one. You see, it goes until 9 because if we print the range, so let's come here to see. So let's say that we have a variable called x. X is equal to range 10. This is for understanding range function. And if you print x, so let's forget about the for loop here. Let's not print anything. So this is how we were commenting. It was in the quiz as well. Also, so there is a also easy shortcut in Visual Studio Code. If you would like to want to use a portion of code, you just select them, and while pressing Control, you need to press slash. So if you add slash, you see in the first slide, it adds the comment hash. And if you press them again, control and slash, it will redo the commenting. So comment and uncomment is like very easy by using that shortcuts. So let's see what it will give. I press the F5 button and select Python debugger. Yeah, thankfully it just gives 0 to 10. So let's start again to see. I'll just drive to 0. I think it just gives like from 0 to 10, but it should give like from 1 to 0, just like in the print. So basically, branch makes the variable from 0 to something, but when the last digit comes, for loop says that, okay, now I need to finish the loop. So it will just take the first 10, because zeros also count in here, and print them. So let's say that yesterday we made an application of calculator. We want that calculator to work at least 10 times. So 10 times this application should ask us to do a calculation. So this is how we need to, this is how we can use the for loops. So let's change the possibility. Instead of counting or doing something, let's say that we have an X. So first time we are also creating a list with strings. So let's say that marine and comma, this is the second element, engineering, and let's add another one, and let's add Strathclyde. So right now we have 3 elements in a list, which is called X. So if I go to for loop again, for I in X, print I. We are not dealing with that. I'm just commenting it out using this. Okay. So let's see what the reaction will be. You see, I becomes the element, the first element, the 0th element of the X. Then in the second one, it changed to engineering. In the third one, it changed to Strathclyde and tried to fourth, but there was no fourth element in the X. So it just goes for all the elements in X. So we can say just like that. So this is, we can also change the I, it doesn't need to be I. So let's say that element in X. And if we change this one to element as well, again, the output should be the same. Yeah, marine, engineering, and Strathclyde. Okay, let's go back to the show. So there is also a while loop. So in while loop, something is like a little bit different. So you see, actually, I can show with my mouse. So in here, you see there is a condition. We have seen that operator, which is like lesser, right? I is lesser than 10, right? Now 6. So in this one, we have to create a new variable, an integer, I, in the first, equals to 0. This is like initialization of a variable, just like yesterday. And then in each loop, it will just print the I, which is 0 in the first. It will print 0. Then this is like there is this operator as well, which says that I will be summing up with an I with 1, and then allocating it to the I again. So basically, I will be increased by 1. I equals to I plus 1. It's like the other name. Or I equals to I plus something. You can just add instead of 1. So by the way, it means that it will increment I with 1, then redo it. So it will take a look. If I is lesser than 10, it is still, right? Because it becomes 1 after adding 1. It will print, and the second one, it is 2, which is again lesser. So until 10, when it is 10, it will see that 10, it will try to see the comparison between 10 lesser than 10, which is false. Then while it breaks, it will continue with what is happening in the other side. There is also another, like a trial. So let's also have the trial with the while. So we don't need them anymore. So we need to declare a new variable, initialize a new variable. Let's say that this is y right now. Doesn't matter, like it depends on you. Let's say minus 1 equals to 0. And in while loop, now there is a comparison. What is the comparison? My num is less than, let's say 5. Again, since we are going to be inside something like a function, we need to put colon. So there is an error. What is the error? It says that you have written it wrong. So I'll just add a 1. Now let's print what is happening with my num here. 1. Okay, so we need to add the increment. So let's also increase the my num with 1. We can either write it like that, my num plus 1, or the other way as well. Okay, let's see what it will be printing. Again, I press F5. It starts from 0, goes to 5, goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, and when it is 5, it says that this is false. So it becomes a loop. So what if I just add a true here? Do you have any ideas? So since true is also like a Boolean output, instead of giving something comparison, I'll just give a true here. So what do you think that the system will be like writing? Sorry? Error, possibility. Again, what are the other options? Or infinite loop. Yes, there will be like again a possibility of infinite loop. Let's take a look what will happen. Yeah, right now we are stuck in an infinite loop. Until the machine says that okay, we have a problem because still running. So there is actually like a gesture just you need to do when you press it was Control C, I suppose. Yes. While selecting the terminal is selected, if you press Control and C, which is again a copy, it's just gets you out of the loop if in case that you have stuck inside. So sometimes it happens. So they made such a gesture to get out. So if you add true, always it will be like it will go to the until infinite or until something happens with the number. Okay, let's make it false. So what do you think that will be happen if I just start F5? It's not stop. Yeah, stop. Like because there is nothing we will see here. So we don't even understand that it's working or not because the print will be in false, and my num will be declared, but inside we are not going to see it. So let's see. Now we tries to do something and done, nothing here. Because in false, you are not going to go inside the while loop. So you can change it or you can like do other things as well. Okay, I think it's understandable for the loops. So there is also something called loop control. So sometimes when you have some functions, you may need to get out from the loop. So just the first example that I was saying. Let's say that we have a calculator that we have done like yesterday. So we want this one to at least go 10 times. 10 times it's working, but I don't want to use anyone after 5. So how can I just get out? I can add a function when I press something, it will go break. If I add a break after something, let's say in here, you will see. So if it is true, if I is equal to 5, because like from the other earlier example, you will see that the I will go from 0 to 9, right? Until 10. When it's 10, it will finish. So when it is 5, it will break. Then we don't see anything left. So the I will be left as 5, because there will be no difference for the while loop as well. The break always works in any kind of loop. Continue is something like when you see continue, okay, just pop up and do nothing in this round. Go for the next round. Continue makes that. So right now, you don't see the print in this one, for example. When I becomes 5, the print will be selected. It will be not printing anything. And also pass, which is again very useful. In most of the cases, we will be using pass on any circumstance about functions. Okay, so we have done for the basics of the coding. Now, I will show you the charts to just make make it easy to follow. These are 2 pages, one side, the other side. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, just these are pass. You see the pass. Yes. So these are just some additions. So like in the first site, if you go to the pages, you see there is something different that we haven't done yesterday. Import TK inter, STK. And from TK inter import something, TTK. We will be seeing it like after a point. This is called important. But let's take a look to the details later on. So in the second part, you see there are functions. In most of the codes that you are doing, you will be doing actually. So there should be like a part by part something. The code should be organized. Because after some point, if you add your function to inside the code, then you realize that there was something about the function. We just need to find it. Let's say that you have 500 lines. It will be like a little bit problematic. So if you are not going to go much further than 500 or 300 lines, you can use your functions on the top after the importing. But let's say that you are in a very complex project and that has, let's say, maybe hundreds of different functions. Then there is an environment setting. So let's take a look like to environment. So the environment to get organized, it should have one main folder, which is called, let's say, project, your project name. Then in this folder, you need to have 3 other folders if there are, again, like supports and data. So in the first folder, the source. Since you have, let's say, thousands or hundreds of, let's say only hundreds of functions, you may need additional Python files, which will just consist of the functions, because you can just call another file from a Python file. By that way, you can organize all of the functions in another file. So the source folder should include your other, let's say, necessary codes. Support folder, let's say that you are going to use some images or color styles, this kind of stuff, other supplementary stuff. this file can be located in support and data folder. If you have, let's say, Excel files or some matrices, you may include them in the data folder. And then there will be always a main code. So if you send your whole project to someone, so there should be lots of Python files. So which one will be the starting? It will be the main. So most of the cases, actually most of the programming languages, you will see the main as a start of a program. So the main program should be written in the main, and main can connect the other files. Since like this is like not much a complex project, we will be just going with one file. But tomorrow, if you would like to see how to add multiple Python files together, I can show it to you. Okay. Right now, we need to download the tkinter to Python. So yesterday I told you like Python is very useful because of its libraries. If you would like to work in AI, you can just use like some libraries about it. So tkinter is a library about the GUI, which is like a graphical user interface again. So how do you install the GUI? So just open your project, this one, Visual Studio Code, sorry. So in here, this is terminal. In the terminal, I am just right now controlling here. So I can also write console commands to here. Just come here and type pip install tk. Pip install tk. And after pressing enter, it should start downloading if there is if it can downloadable. If it is already downloaded, requirement already satisfied will be, it says. So does it download right now or downloaded already?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any difference we try to find the installer from what is called an extension? Is it on the far left hand side?
Yes, in the extensions.
Yeah.
You would like to see?
We install the next one. Yeah, that one.
Extensions.
Yeah, that is where we install the Python.
Yes.
So is there also the TK is here?
No, it is not.
No.
Because this is a Python package. So it may be here as well. So let's take a look. TK. tkinter also, yeah, you can also add some, but these are toolkits. So I don't think it is just the main thing that we will be using. And also there are some themes. I didn't know that. So you can add themes. So tomorrow we will see how to add a theme or colors to your project.
So you mean any packages that belongs to the Python needs to be typed?
Yes, because Python made a package called PIP, Python package installer of Python, something like that. So when you go to the, let's say that let's open a Chrome, an internet to see. So let's say OpenCV. OpenCV is a very useful library for the Python to go with image processing. OpenCV Python pip install. So to download the OpenCV, it will show the OpenCV pip install OpenCV Python. So if I just copy this one, OpenCV-Python, then it will install. This is how easy like any library can be installed. This is why there is like a pip install. You just need to come here and since we have already downloaded the debugger, debug console, we have the debug console here. So in the debug console, or like any of the Pythons, they should work as well. Yeah, you can download any packages that you want. Since we are going to deal with the tkinter, I just download the tkinter for this one. And yeah, there is also a term called, let me try to open it. Now there is an importing case. Okay, so right now what I want you to do, just create a file, a folder that will be holding your project. So we will like create together, we can create together. You need to give your own specific names for your application. And while we will be going forward, I will tell you what are the things that you can like customize or just change. And yeah, so let's have a proper workspace together. I'm just going back to the Explorer. So since like it's only shows there, just I need to look here. Okay. So I will just select the file, add a folder to workspace. I just want to use the Python in here, just like some of the folders. So it was in, let's go to the workshop 1, and I am creating a new folder called my project. So I'm just trying to go with like all small letters. My project. Okay, now we have the folder. I'm selecting add. My project is here. So let's go with the old one. So in my project, I can either go with a file and new file. Now we need to have the Python file, new file, Python. Okay, untitled one. So I will just start with a comment. So this is my application. And when I press Ctrl S, which is again save, it shows the Python and gives a like automatic name. I just give it like a main because it will be my main. So it should be my projects and in here, yes, main. Okay. Now after this point, what I will be writing will be here. So this is going to be our main folder. If we are going to add some images or data, we will be adding new folder in here. So we can add a folder, I think, through here. Let's try. So let's say that I have an image, something. So I will just call it support. I had another folder, which is data. Oh, yeah, it looks like okay, it looks like we don't need to put the folders through here. We need to go down with a normal Explorer. So let's go back to the Explorer. I don't want this data inside the support, so that should be support and data. And also, since there is no other code will be happen, but yeah, let's go with like a professional way. We need to add a source. Okay, this will be the common structure when you see a project. If there are, again, GitHub files, they will be added here to see like version control, but we are not dealing with that. So right now we will just dealing with main. It is also organized in here. Okay. So everybody just create his or her own file, correct? Let's go to the PowerPoints. So, okay, we have downloaded the file. Since there are lots of libraries, and if you download like, let's say, a bunch of them, so I think I can just download like 20 of them just to see like what are they worth. Just like you may also download them. So if Python automatically selects or covers all of the all of the libraries that is downloaded to your computer, it will be again like too much calculation to see like what's going on. So because of that, to make the system compute faster, we should just import the selected one. Since we are going to use tkinter for this one only, we can just say import tkinter. So do not like write stk, just import tkinter, and from tkinter import ttk. So let's write together. So this is most of the time starting first. Import. Also, you look on your charts. tkinter. Enter. From tkinter import ttk. Okay. It should be something like that. I will show the as why we are just used as and I didn't put here. So let's say that you are going to use a function. Let's say there is a function of label frame. So normally, if you don't use stk there in the top, you have to type all of the name, then press dot. Right now, I just go to the library of tkinter. I am using tkinter library, and I need to get something. This is the dot. If I put a point or dot after the name of the library, it will show some of the elements. So what I was looking for, label frame. I'll just select it with the arrow key, tab, and now I have the function from the tkinter. I just call the function that somebody just written for just making a GUI from a different library, just like similar that we have called from yesterday, that our calculator or some of the functions that we have created. Since we are not going to deal with that. So, okay, you see, while programming, let's say that we are going to program code that's a GUI that will work as firstly like some functions. I am planning to add a calculator function that we have written yesterday in here. So you see, like we will be using lots of functions. So instead of every time writing tkinter here, you can easily say, I want tkinter as a tk, or anything you want. Let's say I want my function or my library. So now the tkinter is, giving error because you should call the tkinter with my library, which is again unnecessary right now. I just put tk. By that way, you don't have to write tkinter every time. If you add tk and label frame, it understands the function. This is just for like easy to use. So like OpenCV, most of the time they open like CV instead of doing OpenCV to that. So this is why we are using S in here. So let's get rid of this one. Okay. So the last slide I think we will be looking for is the tkinter elements that we'll be using. So like text box, combo box, and check buttons. There is also like a button here. So these are some of the elements. Basically, all of the applications or windows that you will be like using have. So these three of them, that there was a button normal. So actually, I didn't add the button. And yeah, basically, we will be using four of them. There will be also button. Let me show you the output from now on. What will be have like after the workshop. Yes, it is on the left. Yeah, we are going to have something like that, which is our initial application. But yeah, like for the second time. So right now we will going to have a break because we have finished the presentation. In the second class, or like in the second session, we will be writing this application, and we will be adding some paddings or some other layouts to make your own applications. So I will be also giving some of the customizations. Customization options are not included here, just like pad-X and pad-Y, which is again comments. I will be like showing it. By the way, all of the applications that we will be programming in here will be different. Okay. So let's go to the